We are currently on 6th Avenue, which is also known as Avenue of America. And this is Waverly Place. Next block is West 8th Street, and we are heading northeast in New York City. have about 69 more blocks to go, and we'll see if we see the tall people. What does this say? That Sopranos movie is trash. Oh wow. Isn't Gandolfini's son in that movie? His biological son is playing him as a teenager, or the Soprano character. A friend of mine was an extra on that set. I remember him telling me that the crew and the people there were crying after each scene. These scenes were so powerful that were done with Gandolfini's son, that everyone would be crying after a scene. What tall people? Well, there was a husband and wife. There was a husband and wife couple that are, or what appears to be, homeless here in New York City, and during the winter time they were covering themselves up with blankets, and their blankets were soaking wet from the rain and the snow. So I went out of my way to come up with some sort of concept that would keep them warm and dry. So I went to an upholstery shop, and this upholstery shop is the people that they do like a lot of cabs. They put the plastic in the cabs, and so you don't dirty the leather or dirty the material. And I had them take some fleece and some tarps, some waterproof tarps and some fleece, and I had them sew that together. And they sewed the fleece and the waterproof tarp together, and it was to provide them with a little bit of relief from the weather. And occasionally I'll drive by and check on them, and sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not. So I'm just gonna go check on them, say hello. I saw that young lady kind of go like this to you. Were you trying to pick her up?
Yes.
What did you say?
If you want taxi.
Oh, you came across as a taxi. But it's a Honda, so isn't it going to be like, nah?
Doesn't matter.
It worked. So you've done this before. It's worked.
Yeah, hand out any car, Toyota, any kind of cars.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, this guy got regular plates in a Honda pulling up to a pretty girl talking about, do you need a cab? Look, he's doing it again to the next person. Oh no, he just slowed down for this woman. That's so weird. Like, who would get in a cab in a car without a TLC plate? Look, he's trying to pick up those people. Wow, I respect the hustle. Let me slow down. Let me see what's going on, if they'll get in. I'm looking through my rear view. That's freaking ballsy, man. This guy is trying to pick people up without a TLC plate. I couldn't see if that group of people went in or not. Wow, look at this. relax. Damn. Nice little fender bender. This is still Avenue of America. (34th Street). I had to move over. These cars were just driving all on my back so fast. Come on, slow it down. I think I saw... Yes, I did. Hey, Roblo. Yeah, cops don't care anymore. Seriously, if people are just doing TLC driving like that on Avenue of America, that's crazy to me. And no one has any money, so that means he's probably accepting Zelle or something like that. What street are you on, Elvis? I am on 40th Street and 6th Avenue. To the 1, 2 o'clock is Bryant Park. To the right. Should I go down Times Square? You're on 34th and 3rd, Rob Lowe. Wow, look at that. We're like in a little bubble here. Real connected, real close by. What's going on 34th and 3rd Avenue? What's over there? 34th and 7th in front of Macy's now. Are you driving? You gotta be driving. You're moving that fast. Nothing much. I'm just heading to work. Oh, you're heading to work. Okay, cool. Salute back, Rob Lowe. Salute back, my friend. What is this over here? What the hell event is going on here? Hey, yo, my guy. What's the event going on right there?
What?
What's that event right there? You know what it is? You said what?
National Day celebration, African National Day, Guinea, West Africa.
It's a West African event?
Yeah, man. This one here, full up.
I see that.
Full up. Holy
up.
bag girls, I'm telling you.
Oh. And what time is over?
I don't know, I think 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Bless up. Well, the city is popping. They had everyone closing at midnight. So it's beautiful to see this. West African event. Her is right. I don't know if there's any women on that block we were just looking at. Not originally. There's no cis women over there. Nobody get triggered. We're passing by the Trump Tower. Nobody get triggered. Yeah, that already happened. I have a bunch of video of that. I have to go through my archives and check out all the video that I have of the blackout, me riding around and through it. I have hundreds of videos. I just gotta, just put it out slowly. Today I put out some stuff from, I thought it was 2018, but it was 2019. Because 2018 I had the Volvo. 2019 I had this one. 45 and 45th and 8th is popping. Yeah, it's popping over there. This couple coming here just came out of the exit, the Central Park exit. So this is broke love, real broke love. You walking through the park. Maybe they was in the park and made a quick detour. Then then I understand. This is Central Park to the right. We're on Central Park West, north. This is still northeast. And the tall people are a couple of blocks right here. Let's see if we see them. Nope, I don't see them. This is where they normally are, right here on these steps. I don't see them. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow, check on them, see if I see them. Yo, my friend, yo, on the bench, my guy. He don't want to answer. God bless him. I was going to see if he knew where they were. Just gotta come back. Another day. That guy was lounging, smoking his cigarette, didn't want to answer no questions. Leave me alone. So I respect that. Act like we're in a third world country and just stop at the light and keep going, or barely stop, you know. I got my hazard lights on. Maybe I won't do it for this one. Maybe I will. The Museum of Natural History to the left of us. Halls of gems and minerals. Nothing really going on here on this avenue, unless we want to talk about how nobody's home in any of these buildings. 2 or 3 people are home. We can talk about that. Nobody's home but 1 or 2 people in these whole entire buildings. The whole entire building is empty. 1, 2 people living in the building, and it's not because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and these are old people and they go to sleep early. No, that's not what's going on. What's going on is that New York City is a freaking stage. But we all know, anyone who knows me, I'm not going to get into it today. What I will do is just let the camera, you can get a glimpse of how no one is home. But the doorman is downstairs, and in each building there's maybe 2 or 3 people, sometimes no people, and they don't even care to turn on the lights. They just leave the lights off. It's like no one is even noticing this stuff. But don't get me started. Shucks. Jesus. Alright, fuck it. I've talked about this a lot, and how in New York City you have tons of buildings, and in these buildings there's no one living there. They're totally empty. You have 1 or 2 people living there, and it comes across as if, you know, these people, are they sleeping? No, they're not sleeping, but the doorman is there. But inside, there's no one living there. No one home. New York is a stage. And then every night it'll be the same lights. If we came back tomorrow night or the night before, just the lights that you see on now will be the only light you see on then. And it's absolutely freaking bizarre. No one's home. And someone might argue, well, it's 2 o'clock in the morning in New York City, and those are like the most expensive apartments, and those people are old money, and they just don't, you know, they go to sleep at 8 o'clock and they wake up at 5. When you get here at 5, there's no one moving. Okay? The doorman is there with a big smile on his face, washing down the hallway, the streets, but there's no one living in these buildings. They're empty. Empty. For real empty. And some of the ones with the lights, there'll be no movement, nobody walking by. Just empty, empty, empty. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of apartments. Empty. And if this is nothing, this is the west side of, this is Central Park West. We're going north on Central Park West. And if we were on the east side, which is 5th Avenue, there are no buildings, like there are no people. And you'll see a few people walking their poodles, the really big, huge poodles. But for the most part, like look at this building on the corner here to the left. There's like not one light on. Not one light on in the whole building. And this is nothing. There's hundreds of buildings like this in New York. Look at this. It's like this huge shadowing going on. It's like, let me try to, is it dirty? Is this thing dirty? Look. Not one person is here in this whole building. It's like 200 apartments. Look, no one is in the next building. Trust me, I've been studying this for 20 years. I was studying this before I knew I was studying this. And no one's home. Now they can, what is that? How they can landlords afford that? How can landlords afford that? Well, this is possibly not a realistic. Wait, look, the Hala guy is popping. Yeah, I bet. Wow, interesting. Third world country. I do that in the Bronx. How can landlords afford that? Well, if what I'm saying is true, and that we're living in some sort of stage, we're living in some sort of what's that called when the town is fake and it's just a facade? What is that called? For now, let's just call it the stage. I will actually retitle this show from looking for the tall people to the point that I'm trying to make later on in a minute. It's about this guy. He was like from the 1600s, maybe the 1500s, and he wanted to prove to his mother or mother-in-law that the city was doing fine and there wasn't a famine, so he drove her all around the place, and they staged it where the outside of the buildings looked like, you know, they were flourishing and everything was going great, but in reality it was like, look at this. This is like old money building right here. Look at that. Nobody's home in the whole freaking building. Nobody's home. You tell it, come on, you serious? And these lights here down at the bottom, tomorrow they'll be on just like that. Nobody walking around in them. It's all bull. It's all BS. So you had this guy, and then what he did was he tried to convince, you know, he's like the king or something like that. He tried to convince this woman, I don't know if it was his mother-in-law or it was the prince. I don't think it was the prince. I don't think it was the queen, but that everything was okay. So they had all this stuff built, and they had all the people staging in front of it, like everything was like great and everybody was happy. And that's what New York is in certain areas, certain parts of Brooklyn, certain parts of Manhattan, certain parts of the Bronx. They're just facades. They're just total staging. So it has, if you want to know why aren't landlords, how can they afford to do that? It's not that there's a landlord. There's no landlord. It just is. Okay, now we're going to the working class neighborhood where people actually have to work, and you'll see more lights on, and people will be, you know, it's going to be a lot different than what you see over here. Like, this is like, once you pass certain blocks, you get, you know, it becomes, in other words, the stage needs builders, and it needs people to believe that it's real. So there are people here, of course. I'm not saying there's no one home. I mean, there's no one in all these buildings, but for the most part, certain sections of the city, there are tons of neighborhoods that are just facades. And there are no landlords. These are like, yeah, like I said, it just is. We can't understand what's going on. We can only speculate. But who's even thinking like this? Who's speculating this? Who's looking up at this building and saying this building only has the same lights on every day for, you know, a year? What the hell's going on here? No one's saying that. Everybody got to go to work. Everybody has to pay bills. Everybody has to, you know, everybody got responsibilities. So once you pass this area here, you'll be able to see, you know, there's a lot more life. This is where, like, you know, the working class will be, and, you know, there'll be more windows where you can see the glow of the television, or you can just get a more feel for the building. Seems a little more authentic and less polished, and a lot more, even though there's levels to the screen, there's levels to the script. We're passing my friend Melba's place. I know Melba was throwing huge parties for the jab. My friend Melba throwing jab parties. New York is a huge stage. I talk about this all the time, how New York is more like the Truman Show than you can ever imagine. Oh, it's popping right here. Yeah, the food trucks are getting it in. Facts. New York City will never be the same. You see, Rob Lowe, it's not about New York has changed so much that these buildings are now empty. My argument is that they've never been full. My argument is that they've always been empty for the last 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. There's only been a handful of people in these buildings with the pretending that these buildings are popping when they're really not. There's like 4 or 5 people walking dogs every day. It's the Truman Show. It's totally the Truman Show. You know, I had a friend of mine that moved to 30th and he moved to 30th and I think it was 5th Avenue and 30th Street. And in his building, it was a weird style building where you couldn't even tell anyone even lived in this building. So the person who rented the space for him was, and mind you, he was paying market rate. He was paying something like 22 for a 1-bedroom. And this 1-bedroom he was paying 22 for. The person only rented it to him because he was here in New York only 3 days a week, because he used to fly to Bali. He would leave Thursday. He would get to Bali. It took him 12 hours to get to Bali. And he used to always make a joke that Bali was right underneath Manhattan. It's a direct line from Bali to Manhattan if you go by the globe Earth. And he would leave his job Thursday afternoon, drive to the airport. They had like, you know, he had his own entrance damn near. And he would go to Bali, and I'm just letting that motorcycle, which is 3 blocks away, you can still hear it. Now that's 4 blocks. You can still hear that damn motorcycle. Wow. And he would leave on Thursday, get to Bali, I guess 12 to 18 hours later. Okay. And then he'll be back to work by Monday morning or Monday by noon. He's back at work. He had a business that he was doing. And let me just say this to you. That's the only reason why they even allowed him to get the apartment, because they needed somebody who was never going to be there. Okay? That's one of the things that they rented to him. The guy was there, whatever timeline he was there, let's say 2 years. He only seen one neighbor the whole time he was there. And mind you, when you go into this place, it's like, 20-foot ceilings. Marble from 1950 is still up on the bathroom walls. And then it had a weird staircase in one of those elevators where, those freight elevators that had all the chain link fence inside of it. It was real fly. It was like something out of a movie. But there's nobody there. It's just, and the people that have it there, they want to rent it out to you, and they don't even want you there. This is Harlem we're in right now. This is 8th Avenue. 8th Avenue turns into Frederick Douglass. And this is the lighthouse on the left. It used to be double and triple park over here. But then there was somebody who caught a rat on film. And ever since the day they found the rat on film, people stopped going to the lighthouse. What a shame.
I bet.
And this is 8th Avenue. Oh, I said that already. Harlem, stand up. We're going to drive by the most successful bar in Harlem. No one makes more money than this place here. No one has lasted the test of time like this place here. The place to the left is new, but it's owned by the same people that own the place to the right across the street. I just don't want to move because the show I got to the right of me, to the left of me, is crazy. I think I'm gonna park and get a come in here. Bless, bless, bless. Everybody's looking so damn good. I gotta stop. Let me make a U-turn. popping. Loving it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Not my crowd. I gotta keep it real. This was a older crowd, for real, for real. And the drinks were so slow to get. And I don't know if you heard that, but I didn't pay for that drink. It was bought for me by a new stranger friend of mine. I don't want to drink and drive, so had to make sure that went down. But let me tell you, women have been buying me drinks a very long time. That's easy. And I didn't want to start pulling the camera out, spinning around with it. And I didn't want the camera thing. Plus, I didn't want to get a copyright, so I wanted to make sure this music wasn't coming through. So I threw the phone in my pocket. So thank you for watching. Now let me just keep going. We're in Harlem. I just had a Jack and Coke. 300 pounds, so it ain't gonna hit my bloodstream for quite some time. That's a fact. That's science. That's science. Woo, that was an old crowd. Wow. Oh my God. And there was some mean muggers going on in there. A few mean muggers, but you know me. I had the smile on my face the whole time. I'm walking around like this. This smile right here, you just can't. It's just this smile I learned is more powerful than the ice grill. That's a fact. Here's another spot. What I'm not gonna do is just, bar hop and start drinking everywhere. That's not what I'm gonna do. That place was just like so big. I mean, so little, so tiny. Let me see. Nice salute. I heard your game, my G. Yeah, because I'm over here with a smile on my face, and she looks at me, and then literally looks through me. So I'm standing there looking around. I got a smile on my face, and I say to her, respectfully, I'm smiling right in your direction, and you're looking right through me. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. As fine as you look and as good as you look, I didn't mean to do that. I said, it's fine. It's no problem. But what's going on here? Next thing you know, she's like, what are you drinking? I said, okay, now we're talking. I told the bartender right before she had 2 other drinks to make in front of me. I said, this woman's buying me a drink. So, that's how you do it. Where the white women at? There were white women in this space. I was talking to one that was talking to her. So there were white women in that particular space. There were like at least 4 or 5. Understood, especially with freaks. Alright, I can't read all that. That's all I have to read. Hold on. Understood, especially with fellas drinking, seeing the cameras, sometimes they get funny. Yeah, it's true. We're like, yo, this dude is like a bail. They might think I'm trying to catch somebody out on bail. You just took that to the head. That is hard, bro. Yeah. Times Square is flooded. What the? Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, I took that Jack and Coke right to the head. Like I said, I'm 300 pounds, It's going to take more than that one shot. And she gave me, I would say 40 milliliters. That's not even a whole nip. I watched the way she poured it. She gave me between 35 and 40 milliliters in my cup. And the rest she poured with Coke. And it still was full of ice. And it wasn't, it was light. And, You know, when I was in the bar business, I would give out, I would try to do, 50 milliliters, exactly what's inside of a nip I would give as a drink. This might be the end of our tour, y'all. I had a great time. Did you have as good of a time as me? Are you able to walk in a room and command the room? Are you able to look past all the strangers and come across as a neighbor, looking nothing like anyone else around you, with a smile on your face while everyone is mean mugging? Oh snap, somebody's message got just snatched away. Harlem white girls. We outside, B. Catch me outside. We outside. Yeah. I had a good time. And let me just say this for the record. I'm not saying that this equals me and my interpretation of a good time, and I'm capped here, no. That definitely wasn't my crowd. There was nobody under, I don't think anybody was under 45, 50 years old in there. I doubt it. I would be shocked. And it's not that I have a problem with being around 45, 50-year-olds. I don't have a problem with that. I guess if I go to a spot where there's 45, 50-year-olds, I always will have a drink in my hand. These women will make sure I am libated. But when I was in my 20s and 30s, I didn't have that problem either. So, yeah, marrying a synthetic life form. That was crazy. Yo, I couldn't believe it. And then he started acting like as if we all heard this before. No, Star, we never heard this before. This is new. This is new. This is not old information. You were supposed to marry a woman for business and pump out 4 lesbian children. Remember that, Star? Now all of a sudden this is like, you want to get a life form, and don't you understand what forced obsolescence is? There's no way you're going to get a synthetic life form and she's going to be able to pass on your legacy when her battery will become obsolete, when her programming will become obsolete, when you upgrade that program and they destroy all your files. What are you talking about? Please don't believe that. I was going to call when he was talking about that, but I was like, let me just donate, let him know I got his back, whatever. Star, he likes to, one thing I know about Star is that Star uses us as beta tests for ideas. He uses the comment section and he uses the calls to weigh out how far he's going to go. And he crosses the line, but you don't realize that you're the one that are placing the lines there for him to cross, and he crosses the lines around us, his troll babies and all his supporters. We feed off of that, and he's so strategic and he's so smart. So I just backed off and just stood out of it. But there's no way you're gonna get a synthetic life form, and even if it's AI, if it's AI compatible, you might end up with an AI who's sympathetic to the opposite of where your ideals and your belief systems are, and then start to edit your work. So you want a synthetic life form, it can't be AI, because AI will then have to, AI will possibly be able to choose whether or not they live that legacy for you, because if it's truly AI, it should have identity, and identity is going to identity will, okay, this is not good. Okay, all right. I'm about to back up. Please don't play with my emotions out here in the Bronx. He loves research, yes. He's very intelligent and a clever mind. Yes, this is a fact. These are facts. Yeah, so I totally stood out of it, but I made sure I donated so he knows I'm listening, and this is something along my alley when it comes to, which the proper term for it is transhumanism. Transhumanism is more what he looks like he's going for. But the concept of all his data, all his files will be safe is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Not through marriage of a synthetic life form, because like I was saying, a synthetic life form will probably be able to, if it's truly AI, go in front of Congress and fight for its rights to step away from its program, because that's what ultimate choice is about. And if AI took on a synthetic form, AI, who's this? So that means Star would have to have some sort of escrow account just for AI's upkeep and maintenance, and then for his posterity of his catalog, and the safety of that in itself. AI is a clown for out of town. No way I'm smashing a synthetic life form. Like the animal tracks. I don't know about like the animal tricks. Like the Matrix animal tricks? Is that what you were saying? I'm not sure. Yeah, an animatrix cartoon. Yeah. Yeah, Star is, he definitely knows how to stir the pot. Synthetic life form. Stop it, Star. And one thing about Star, I remember back there was a time when Star was, trying to end the show so he can make it to the pool hall before it closes. I remember those times where, Star craves attention from more than just the troll babies, and I guess he's inept. He's inept to some degree when it comes to, his intimacy. But I'm sure that Star and the word intimacy plays some sort of part, because we're all humans and we all have vices and we all have needs and desires and hopes and dreams. So a synthetic life form, how could that fulfill? It's not enough to fulfill you, especially marrying or trying to get into trying to get into that quagmire, to say it. Imagine having a relationship and being with no soul or spirit. Wow. What synthetic life form stuff is gonna put flashlights out of business? Maybe this is Star in his final form, ultimate trolling with the agenda while holding his post as a media figure. Yes, absolutely. Who said that? Shallow dweller. Yes, that's a great freaking analogy or synopsis. That's so good. That was so good. Very good. I agree with that. That was good. And even if I don't agree with it, it was freaking a great point. It's a great point. But you gotta love Star. Star gives everybody an opportunity and a chance to shine. He does. He really does. He's for a person who's out for self and is about his journey, he recognizes that there has to be a plethora of cannon fodder in order to get to the top. And that's like in any war, that you have to throw the pawns. There has to be a pawn, and he will utilize pawns, and there's only going to be a few pawns that make it to the end of the board where they can now become knights and bishops and rooks and all this other stuff. In order to get that, you have to make it to the end of the board. Most people that are given the chance never quite make it to the end of the board to change from being a pawn. And we can just go on and on with the names of the people, and you can't do anything but respect that, because what it's truly is a representation. Ooh, did you see that rat run across? We're in Washington Heights right now. So we started on Houston Street. We made our way up 6th Avenue, across Times Square, or across 42nd Street, up 8th Avenue, up the West, Central Park West. What else? And then 8th Avenue to Harlem, 8th Avenue to Frederick Douglass to Adam Clayton Powell. That's 8th Avenue, 7th Avenue, 7th Avenue all the way up into the Bronx, down Jerome Avenue. What a nice ride. You enjoying yourself? I'm enjoying myself tremendously. Still don't feel that drink yet. But that's okay. That sativa that I was indulging in earlier in the evening has mellowed me in such a positive way. I am happy to say that. Oh my God. Everything looks good. Salute Kamala 42. Kalama. Shadow Dweller. Salute, Shadow. Huh. Shadow Dweller, you are popping with these, you got your thinky caps popping right now. Salute to you. Forget about me. Never mind me. Like Star says. You are appreciated, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that. So we had a nice long ride. I haven't done this in months. I know you probably live in a huge building. Have you ever lived in the woods or in the country? Well, I've boondocked, I've camped with the family. We went across country a couple of times. And while we go across country, we've done some camping, but we're in the trailers. You know, whichever we take a small trailer or a large trailer. Whichever one we do take, we're in the trailer. You know, we're like trying to stay away from flies and stuff. We're in our sleeping bags at night. And I did live in a big building, 29-story building. No, I lived on the 29th floor of a 32-story building. That's the tallest I've ever been. But as far as like, you know, woods, maybe I might have parked my trailer close to the woods. And then in the daytime, I'll walk around in the woods with the kids, hit a couple of trails. You know, nothing more than, I don't think I've ever done anything more than 3 miles. What trail was it that I did that was pretty long? There's a couple here in New Jersey that are amazing. They have one that's 2 miles, a 6 mile, and like a 12 mile, or 8 mile, something like that. I've never done more than a 3 mile trail. Got my city over here. You can't see it. This is the George Washington Bridge we're on. To the left is Manhattan. To the right is upstate New York and Jersey. Fort Lee, Palisades. Well, I'm using the bridge in order to get a quick way to get upstate New York. Because I moved to upstate New York for the last few months. But one of my subscribers asked me to check on if it would be okay if I checked on the tall people. So I made it a point to come down to the city, which honestly is only 30 minutes away. So see, this is Palisades. This Palisades Parkway is a quick way to get to upstate New York because you ride alongside the Henry Hudson, and the bridge that I just was on it's free to enter into New Jersey. Coming back is $16, but leaving the city is free. So This is a quick way to bounce. It's a 25-minute ride, and there are no more, I don't have to pay for any tolls. Whereas if I went through the Henry Hudson, there's a $1.75 toll. So this avoids a $1.75 toll in order to get to where I've been living for the last, shucks, I would say 5.5, 6 months. You know, that's where I'm in the pool every day, working out and taking care of myself and, you know, breathing in really good, clean air. Loving it. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for tuning in to this very small YouTube channel that sometimes make it up to 1,800 subscribers, and then I will look at it and it's back down to, you know, I lose 10 subscribers. Then I gain 10 subscribers, then I lose 10 subscribers, and then I gain 10 subscribers, and I lose 10 subscribers. Sometimes I'll gain 20 subscribers, and then within 30 days I lose those 20. So I'm not gaslit by that at all. It bothers me not even a small bit. I'm from back in the days when this is the way it always was. You know, I used to listen to people speak, and it would say that there was 120 views, but I always knew it was, you know, more like 120,000 views. You know, it was just something that was known back in the day where, you know, right now 7 people are watching, and as far as I know, it could be 700. Who knows? So you are appreciated. I'm not alone. You're not alone. You're here with me. I'm here with you. We're here right now in the present. We're not thinking about the future. We're not thinking about the past. We're right here, right now. Just like when I pulled over, got out of the car, walked into a bar, and I had a woman buy me a drink. And got back in the car and was out of there within minutes because it wasn't planned. It just happened. It was organic. It was real. And that's what this used to be. So I don't mind bringing back some of that reality. Bringing back some of the real. If that makes any sense. And I know it does. And if it doesn't, you won't be part of the 7 that's here. Is it 70 or 700? I probably got, you know, 30 people wide awake in Europe watching me right now, thinking that they're one of 7. But we won't get gaslit by that. Matter of fact, pull over at the scenic route and see if you can see. I like to pull over here sometimes. And they have trails here too. You pull over by the scenic route and they have these really cool trails down on the side of the Palisades Parkway. Pretty cool. I ain't the only one here. By the way, I'm not afraid of the dark. Never have been. Well, maybe when I was a kid. But I just want you to see, there's a path here. But that's the city there. And even over here, it gets even deeper. Look at that. So by me taking this route, I'm saving, you know, just $1.75. But I also like this scenic route here. You know, the air even smells different already. Look at this. You can even see the stars. Yeah, that was cool. And like I said, I'm not afraid of the dark. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't think that, there's going to be somebody who's going to be waiting for me to walk by so they can jump me and, whatever. I don't fear like that. I can walk through the woods in the dark and not be afraid. I would be cautious and worried about maybe a bear or something, or a bunch of I don't know, flies or something, gnats biting me all up. That was cool. City that never sleeps. Bears. The murder hornets, yeah, right? You are appreciated. Most appreciated brother. Stop. Not your brother. Laugh out loud. Salute. Yeah, right? Yeah, Star will bring the people together. You just gotta have you just gotta know what you're willing to do and not do. And understand where you being exploited is going to benefit yourself, and what are you willing to give up in order to get your proverbial pawn to the end of the board, to not be a pawn anymore. And Star, amazing for that. He's given me an opportunity, genuine opportunity, to express myself and hear my voice and understand that my voice is good enough. You get that confidence when you call in the show enough, and then you got to hear yourself again. And oh my goodness, I've heard so many things I've said on that show where I want too much indica on some of the episodes, and I wasn't concise. I was all over the place, and you learn from those mistakes. So you just gotta be willing to critique yourself and review yourself and constantly look at the stuff that you put out and hear yourself and say to yourself, okay, maybe I don't say it like that any longer. Maybe, like, my thing is the word you know. I say you know so much. It's just ridiculous. There's some videos I put on private because I wouldn't stop saying the word you know. Did anybody catch that roadkill that we just drove by? You know, that's why I'm such a big supporter of his platform, you know. And if I don't hear from him in 2 or 3 days, I'll drop $10 in his Cash App just to let him know, yo, we, you know, respect to the boss. You know, I'll say something like that because, you know, he is ego driven, and I don't mind, you know, I was gonna say stroking the ego, but then I was like, oh my goodness, pause. See, it's little things like that you always have to remember how you're coming across and the audience that hears you, and how important it is to say the word pause, and how important it is not to say it, because there's a sense of you don't want to box you don't want to put yourself in a bubble or in a box, you know. So this is the part where I'm gonna say goodnight and thank everyone for, you know, seeing me home. I'm only 15 minutes away from my home, and you are appreciated very, very much. Boom. Everyone who commented, anyone who might possibly share this on their platform, I just want to thank you. You are appreciated. Boom.